Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I saw this tweet today, and it's a good little reminder. I haven't talked about Swift in a while on this channel, but it's just a little reminder about the big picture. Jack the Rippler says, Swift currently handles over $1.25 quadrillion each year. If XRP is going to handle even 1% of that volume, that puts the price of XRP above $250. ISO 222 is on the way. Keep the faith. I like it. I hope he's right. $250 plus. I would enjoy every minute of. Watch this. This is the news with Shepard Smith. He's tweeting this out, but I'm not sure whose show this is, but I want to show you a little bit of this.
Our Year Ahead series continues tonight. All week long, we're going to try to peer around the corner, 2022, and what the year has in store for things like real estate, politics, and China. But tonight, it is about that, cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin in the red today, down nearly 20% this month. But over the past year, the cryptocurrency up more than 60% and hitting several major milestones. In February, we saw Bitcoin hit $1 trillion market value for the first time ever. In June, El Salvador became the first nation to adopt cryptocurrency as its legal tender. But it wasn't all smooth sailing for the cryptos. China stepping up their crackdown on digital currencies. So what is ahead in 2022? Here's CNBC's Kate Rooney.
Bitcoin just turned positive on the session a moment ago.
Bitcoin and crypto in general plunging again.
Despite its notorious price swings, Bitcoin has become a mainstream investment this year and the topic of conversation at a lot of dinner tables, not to mention in pop culture.
Now what the hell's an NFT? Apparently cryptocurrency.
But the underlying technology made famous by Bitcoin, known as blockchain, is where a lot of folks in the industry plan to spend their time and dollars next year. Developers are applying that technology to digital art, social networks, video games, and even voting rights and corporations. Some see it as the next wave of the internet and call it Web3. The term was even thrown around in a recent congressional hearing with industry CEOs.
What we're hearing now is Web3.
Advocates say those hearings set the stage for some crypto-specific legislation next year.
The lawmakers have really started paying attention to this space. And I think people are really starting to see the long-term benefits that this industry can provide. I think there's a real window for there to be a policy framework done on a bipartisan basis. And I think we're going to see something that really advances the industry as a whole, but also provides those guardrails for market integrity and consumer protection that a lot of people have been looking for.
That's Michelle Bond, who used to be at Ripple and does not like Twitter. She doesn't like the noise, I don't think. It's supposed to, all the change in crypto is supposed to come from people like her that are attorneys or whatever, I think. Link to, I want to remind you all before I go on, this is only like a day left. They're talking about how you can earn $1,500 of XRP if you invest in Ripple equity on Link2's platform. And you could, if you're using the Uphold wallet. Now remember, accredited investors only. So, but they're running this until the last day of the year. Okay, that's linqto.com. Now I wanted to make a point here. These people in social media, they can't even move at this point. The CNBC can't move. Everybody who's not telling the truth on ProCoinNews.com, the official sponsor of the Digital Asset Investor Hunting and Fishing Club, is the only crypto news site that I know of that is consistently telling the truth on this story. Nobody else is. So now this lady, Jacqueline Melnick, has her chance, okay? She says, interviewing former U.S. SEC Chairman Jay Clayton tomorrow. Among other things, he's been an advisor for Fireblocks since August. What questions do you guys have for him? Well, now's your chance, Jacqueline. If you want to tell the truth and you want to ask the questions that people actually have, John Deaton has weighed in. He's given her a link to the, if you look here, pulled the Grunfest letter that was sent to Clayton, pleading him not to file the case against XRP. So John Deaton gives her an idea for a question. Ripple asks, ask him if he's aware that Fox Business, Eleanor Terrett, Charles Gasparino, Liz Clayman, Charles Payne have called SEC on the Hinman speech and Ethereum free pass. They have, in fact, said Ethereum and Bitcoin do not have any commission-wide clarity. And then we've got TAIG weighing in several times. We've got everybody's asking all kinds of questions for Jay Clayton. So, Jacqueline, if you really want to know what people's questions are, you have them now. If you don't ask him any of those questions, then you're not interested in the truth. You're just carrying a narrative like everybody else. And then Gary Gensler decided to tweet today, or somebody on his behalf. He's too important to respond to 65,000 XRP holders, so I'm sure he's too important to do his own tweets. As we're coming up with the resolutions for 2022, make sure you check out our top 10 New Year's investing resolutions. And these responses are classic. It's just constantly protect retail traders. Should be number 11, realizing the agency tasked with protecting investors could in fact F it all up for you and kill the gains that you hope to build with steps 1 through 10. We just want to invest without you people manipulating the markets in favor of Wall Street or China. I mean, it goes on and on and on. This guy can't even send a... The SEC is a complete joke now. They can't even send a tweet out. Nobody can send a tweet out about interviewing Jay Clayton. CNBC can't do a crypto night show without being bombarded by this stuff. And it's all because they're ignoring the truth. They want to ignore the elephant in the room of truth. And the gig's up, folks. The gig's up. The truth is right in the middle of the room, and here's the deal, and you're going to find out in this little article coming up from Lindsayeighton. Congress, if you're listening, the gig is up, and it's coming for you. Any of you that are in support of Gary Gensler or anyone like him, the elections are coming, and that's where this social media thing is going to turn next. And all we are is average Joe, regular people with a passion and tired of being screwed over by our government and a bunch of bureaucrats that have been living off the government dole for their whole life, and instead of supporting the people and protecting investors and things like that, they have spite for us. They don't like us. They don't think that we should even have a say. It's like the Michelle Bonds of the world. They resent Twitter because we shouldn't have any power. It should only be them with their Ivy League law degrees. And if it's not them, then you should just shut up and sit down. Well, no, that's not how this story goes down. Apparently, people. This is what I've found. It's real simple. It's a real simple recipe. You want to have a website in media that goes crazy, or a media outlet or anything that goes crazy, or you want to be an influencer of any kind? Do this thing that's foreign to half the world now. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. People are dying, literally dying for the truth. If they could just get a tiny bit of truth, they will flock to you. Okay? That is the recipe that CNBC is ignoring. Without being paid for by these huge corporations, there wouldn't be a CNBC because they wouldn't stay in business if money wasn't coming from other places to prop these things up, because they're not telling truth to their audience. They're telling the narrative that they're told. They're saying the words Bitcoin and Ethereum with regard to crypto, and they're saying it over and over and over because they think that's what they've been told to say. If they were telling the truth, their ratings would go berserk. And it's actually covered in this Lindsayeighton article today. The power of social media rivals cable channels with no budget. These people like me and you, we have no budgets. But the force of it and what's being said rivals these cable channels for a simple reason. We're sick of it. We want people to tell us the truth. We're not stupid. Just because we don't have the Ivy League degrees of Michelle Bond and these people, it doesn't mean that we're not smart. We might be smarter than a lot of the Ivy Leaguers, And they just had the right mommy and daddy. But the bottom line is we're sick of being lied to. We're sick of people living off of the government dole and being crooked and doing all this stuff that we know is not right. And we're tired of it. All we want is to be left alone and to be able to possibly work our butts off and have a chance for our kids to have a wonderful future because we took a few risks. And it's pretty bad when we have some Gary Gensler who's already worth over $100 million who comes along 8 years down the road and because his handlers told him to, is going to hold my children's future hostage and your children's future hostage. Well, screw him and screw anybody that supports him because Congress, you're next. Whoever stands behind the guy, and we'll have the list, don't you worry. Whoever's behind the guy, look at John Deaton's message here. 11,000 messages. Every member of Congress has been contacted. The only office not reached is FL20, which has been vacant since April due to the death of Representative Alcee Hastings. All right, moving along. This is Bank XRP had put this out. This is the Forbes article from Lindsayeighton today, and it is a gem. Lindsayeighton hits grand slams, and this is one of them. All right. And I said just listen to this. This is the section on the rise of the XRP army. Retail holders are mobilizing across multiple social media platforms, unearthing embarrassing information on the SEC's top brass, past and present, and flooding congressional offices with thousands of messages demanding that Gensler be reined in. Their efforts led a government watchdog to sue the SEC and investigate possible conflicts of interest by SEC officials in the Ripple case. Over 60,000 retail holders of XRP have been admitted as friends of the court against the SEC, the agency that is supposed to protect them. Dozens of crypto influencers with their own media platforms have a collective audience that rivals cable news networks, and they are starting to talk about the midterm elections. The Republicans need to not exert themselves much to get the crypto vote, so long as Gensler and the Democrats continue to self-destruct. If 2021 was the year that crypto showed its economic promise, 2022 will be the year when crypto holders show their legal and political might. Just like those who said a decade ago that Bitcoin would never be worth anything, many will be eating their words in regret that the war on crypto would be a cakewalk. Well, write this down, folks, because this isn't about Republicans and Democrats. I don't care who you are. If you're a Republican or a Democrat and you are standing behind Gary Gensler and this milquetoast position he's taken, I think there's clarity, when he knows damn well that there is no clarity and everybody out here is screaming that we need clarity and he's trying to pretend like there is. If you stand behind that, we're taking names. We're taking names. Elections are coming. All right. John Deaton forwarded this on. He said, I created crypto law, connect to Congress for this very reason. 2022 will be the year that crypto holders show their legal and political might. You're darn right. And then I saw this in Lindsayeighton's article because words mean things. And I said, there's that word again. This is the same phrase that Joseph Grunfest used when he was talking about Jay Clayton suing the SEC or or suing Ripple. Arbitrary and capricious, doing something according to one's will or caprice, did I say that word right? And therefore conveying a notion of tendency to abuse the possession of power. It's an accusation of abuse of power, folks. Clear as day. Riz XRP sent me this. Hey, in Poland, I can buy illegal securities at my local shopping mall. Look at that. You can buy XRP or sell it. Buying and selling. Arrest that man. Buying and selling illegal securities in his grocery store or shopping mall. Okay, I want to remind everybody of this. The Ledger, I bought 2 Ledger Nano S's today because I got on the phone with some of the people at Ledger today. I have not talked about this in a long time. I got on the phone with them today, And there, by the way, I've got a link at the top of the description of this video for this. But these are, for those of you that don't know, these are hard wallets. We used to talk about them all the time, and for whatever reason, I started wondering about the regulatory aspect of things. But recently, I read that Ledger was gonna, they were working with Coinbase, and they were gonna, Coinbase was gonna have support for the hard wallet. Okay. And then in my conversation today, I found out you can stake on these ledgers, and you can, anyway, I wanted to buy a newer Ledger Nano S and put, store some of my crypto on the ledger. And they also have staking inside of the live platform. And it was explained to me back when I was doing it, I don't think you could do this. Now you can literally buy and sell your crypto directly from your Ledger Nano S. And I don't think you could do that back when I was doing a lot of stuff on them. So I ordered 2 of these for myself today, and ultimately the safest way is to own your digital assets and have your private keys yourself. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Ledger Nano S, link in the description.